really successful at it. I've met more millionaires who are younger than me than I have who are older than me in like on crypto Twitter.
Really?
Assuming that they're not famous, just people I see in comment sections who are like 18 or 19 who've like...
These are people who have bought it when like it was super cheap and they've held on to it ever since.
Specifically NFT Twitter.
Yeah,
NFTs
or got into the NFT
Well, people become
game,
millionaires in
that's
like the
what I was
last
gonna
10 months with NFTs. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to lie. I fumbled the bag. I looked at the Bored Apes. Art was fucking ugly. I was like, they are literally so ugly. I don't want them.
They're dumb.
And I was going to buy 10 of them because someone had told me to. And I was like, these things look really gross. I still don't do this. I don't buy NFTs that I don't like the art of. I don't care who they are. I don't care who's doing them. If it's not at least watchable, I'm not putting a Bored Ape on my screen or on a chain. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I love that cube one that you post on your Twitter. The cube, the 3D cube with like the ghouls and goblins inside of it.
Yeah, I just retweeted that actually. They were in my comments. No idea what that project is, but they seem cool. They interact with my posts, so I showed them some love. There's a lot of underrated NFT artists. A guy named Sergey out of Miami, really fantastic artist. I first saw his art in 2018. He does crypto art, and he does this. He's a do what you love kind of thing going on. And so I purchased a bunch of his NFTs. No resale value. I spent tens of thousands probably on his NFTs. But I bought them because I liked them, and that's what I do with NFTs personally. Or they have to have really good utility. So
I buy them to flip them. That's it.
Buy 'em and flip 'em?
Yep, buy them and flip them.
what were those called?
No attachment.
How long is it? There's people.
I have one that I'm attached to. Sorry.
Yeah.
One. Just one.
What were those ones? The Apollons? How are your Apollons doing? This is the problem with the NFT space.
$8,000
90%.
mistake.
$8,000.
Pudgy Penguins was the best flip I ever had.
Which was?
Pudgy Penguins.
Pudgy Penguins.
I bought one. I bought a few, but I bought one for $6,000. It was like 2 Ethereum at the time, and I knew it was rare. He was looking at it, like, ooh, this is a rare one. You should definitely get this. I was like,
Yep.
all right. Fuck it,
I had to
do it.
convince him too.
He had to convince me. I was like, I'm gonna spend $6,000 on a fucking penguin. I was like, are you kidding me? And he's like, bro, do it. This is probably a great move. I said, all right, fine, fuck it. And it sold 2 weeks later for $80,000.
Wow, cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
Wow.
Yeah,
God damn.
That's fucking incredible.
I'm calling him screaming. I'm like, I love you so much. I'll invest in anything you ever tell me.
Yeah, right.
I was
Ever.
I was like, this
Forever.
is great. This is great.
Fuck.
Yeah. I had
That's
a few
awesome.
other good
Are the Pudgy
Congratulations, man.
Penguins? Yeah, congratulations. That's
Thanks.
huge. Are the Pudgy Penguins still valuable?
Yeah.
Funny
Okay.
story with that. I'd like to make it known as an example of what happens in this space. The founders, which we never did any sponsored work. People always think that because we really just love the Penguins. We talked about them.
They were cute.
They were already blowing up. Like we got them views, yeah, but they were up 10x when I bought them. They were up 2x when he bought them.
Nice.
And so
still high.
they were still going. But the founders basically, I don't want to say rugged, but they basically did another mint of miniature penguins, took the Ethereum, and basically said, all right, guys, see you later. Thanks for the bag.
Talk to you later.
Yeah, I sold mine way below floor for half an ETH. This was my NFT profile picture on Twitter, and I've always rocked with the Penguins. Community's great. Founders left them dead and hanging. This is the problem. Where's the accountability for these Web3 projects, for these NFT projects in specific? And that's if crypto is in the early adoption phase, right, where the early adopters or the early majority is getting in, NFTs are the before the early adopter phase. I mean, if you look at who owns an NFT, right, you can see the accounts on OpenSea. I think it's 3 million, and a lot of those are probably people selling to themselves. I'm going to keep it real with you. But we will see NFTs integrated in a major way, just like we saw crypto kind of blow up in 2021. It's sort of like 2017 for NFTs right now. So I'm probably going to buy probably as much NFTs as I do crypto during the bear market.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyone who doesn't is a fool, in my opinion. No financial advice, but
And some
Right.
NFTs aren't just art. Some NFTs are like, what people don't understand, like NFTs are like passes for things.
Yeah, like the yacht club, the Ape Yacht Club. Like you're a member of a club, and you can go to the Discord, you go to the parties, all that.
But
stuff.
even more so, they can make you more money past that. So like
We just, so me and my friend Joshua Jake, who's a business partner of ours as well, we just joined as advisors to this NFT project called the Blockchain Miners Club. And, they minted these NFTs, right? They're really cool artwork, but they entitle you to a community reward, right? And so they basically took this mint money that they had from raising from these NFTs, and they bought a bunch of Bitcoin miners. So they've got all these Bitcoin miners, hundreds of them, mining Bitcoin, and I think there's some Ethereum miners going on too. They've got all this passive income coming in that they're reinvesting, and holders of these NFTs are entitled to the community rewards. It's not a direct investment thing, but you get your community rewards for owning these miners. And so things like that really excite me for NFTs. Yeah. This is what I'm more than anything excited for, is the ability for people to actually show the utility that they have, And you can actually burn two of these together to create an ultra miner, which has a token attached to it, which they're trying to integrate into a couple different ecosystems. But it's really pushing the boundaries of what is an NFT. Is it just art? Well, no. An NFT, all an NFT really is just, saying that you own a specific thing, and it's like a right. So I have the rights to this NFT. It's my NFT. But it can represent anything. I mean, this table could be an NFT. Mm-hmm. You have it's like a deed saying, hey, this is my table.
Right, it's like a deed.
Exactly.
Like a patent, maybe.
To that, like ticket sales are going to be the biggest thing in NFTs. I always said, if we weren't doing this, I'd be trying to solve for ticket sales for sporting events or concerts or whatever else. Because as soon as they square that circle, like all ticket sales will be NFTs. It just makes so much sense. It solves scalping issues. It solves royalty issues. I mean,
we can do that now, right? You just get it to your little Apple wallet, and they send you like the little QR code in your wallet, and it's kind of like that.
So the difference would be is, say you sold like you're Jay-Z and you sell a concert out, right? There's gonna be tons of people who like buy up your tickets, especially like we see all this, and then they're gonna try to resell them for 5x the price right before the show. So if you're Jay-Z, you can go in, and if you sell by NFTs and each ticket's an NFT, you can go in and say, well, all right, that's fine, but every time that ticket's sold, when it gets transferred, like 10, 20, 30, whatever percent of the value is going to go back to the artist.
Or now poor people aren't going to be able to go to Jay-Z concerts.
So, people...
You can't go to them now if you're poor.
Well, how much is a Jay-Z ticket?
A couple $100 probably at least.
Yeah, but if he was doing it with NFTs and people are scalping them on the black market, they're going to end up being thousands of dollars.
NFTs don't solve traditional issues. They oftentimes present new ones, right? We see this a lot with projects that get exploited. And this is actually so I don't know if you've heard, this is a great example. The blockchain is like, bringing a bunch of meat in front of hungry lions. And these hungry lions are biting at their cage, trying to get in and get the juicy meat. Because even though, it's immutable, great. This Ethereum is my Ethereum, there's no bank. Everything else is still a risk. These Bored Apes were getting sold for, 1.7 ETH, 0.7 ETH recently, just last week, because of an API issue with OpenSea. Essentially, what was happening is that people had them listed, 6 months ago for that price, but they didn't want to pay the delisting fee, which is Ethereum gas fees are prohibitively expensive. So they would send it to another wallet and then back again, violating that smart contract. But someone found an exploit where, even though it wasn't publicly available on the blockchain, that smart contract was still active. So they would immediately buy it, flip it for maybe 20 or 30 times what they bought, and make off with, $100,000 or less than that sometimes, but $80,000. And so there's a lot of exploits in the space right now. And it's just, like I said, part of the emerging technology that's coming here. We're going to see these kinks. But still, there's more wins than there are losses. I mean...
Have they fixed that yet?
It's OpenSea.